Sergio Martinez, a Spaniard tattoo artist. I'm working now in 10,000 Foxes in New York. I was a child when I started. I started to draw and I saw that I have some skills. So I continue until I decided that I had to go to university to continue with the art. I went to university, I did like the 4 years in Spain, and when I finished it, I did like 5 individual expositions and I wanted to continue. But I'm from the south of Spain, from Andalusia, and I had to move to Madrid because that is the big city of Spain, one of them, and it's super expensive. I started to work in a work that I didn't like at all. What I did, asked to my friend, hey, I was working in this job, but I don't like it at all. I don't want to continue and have to make some money and to go to Madrid, to live there. So one day I started, I had a lot of friends that they was up to get it. I said, okay, let's try it. I tried it. My friend gave me a couple needles, gave me a couple bad tips, and I did it. And I saw that, okay, I can do it. I started from my own in my house. It was terrible. But what was funny was the funniest part of my career was in my house. And I continued. I started to know a lot of people. I started to love it, the feelings, and started to travel, to know people, fighting with my English in different countries. Finally, I'm here talking with you in New York. The first thing is when I talk with a customer, I let it talk. So I'm going to get some kind of vibe, and later with the reference, taking care of the placement is very important, and I start to play with the design, showing some picture, another different picture, and seeing the reaction. Sometimes I'm very sure about what I'm going to do, and I do it straight, and most of the time they are agree with that. So that's the process. Shane Burgos is my friend, and I made more tattoos, so I know what he likes. So I prepared the design in my house. I knew that he wanna like something happening in the bottom and a big piece on the top, and he wanted a wolf. So I found like a white wolf fighting with a black wolf, so that can give you some ideas about what is happening, the good and the bad, and the dynamics was really good. And I chose that photo, and later I pick an aggressive wolf because I know that he likes that, and I put it on the top, make it work with another tattoo that he has. I used to start from the bottom, and later I go to the sides, but it depends the tattoo. Some tattoos, when you are working, sometimes in some part the stencil is not so sharp, so you have to go there. The tattoo tells you, let you know. The position is very important too. Sometimes the position drives you to go to some place, As I said, I studied fine arts, and my art is very abstract and minimalistic, but when I started to make tattoos, I say, okay, I can say that I have a big knowledge about this one and a good background, and I was very secure that I was going to learn to do it because I learned how to paint in oil and other techniques. I say, okay, I just have to translate what I know, and that's what I did, and that's what I'm happy doing it. I stopped to paint realistic like almost 10 years ago. The realism to me was in the art was done, but in the tattoo I started, and the feeling is different. In the paper, to me, it's cold. I get bored so easy doing a portrait. I did it with 17 years old, and now I have 29. It's like to go back. But tattooing in the skin is very different because I don't know. It's the feeling. I keep it separate. My art and my tattoo art, if I can say that, is two feelings very different. Mostly of the people ask me for black and gray, but my brain works better with color. To me, it's easier. But my customer want black and gray, and I do black and gray. Because I was more into the painting, and I know how works, how match the color, how can make it pop better than the black and gray. Everything comes from the paintings, of my paintings. So I enjoy more. Sometimes it depends the design. I enjoy more with the color. I do realism, so the contrast is very important. A lot of good contrast to make the line sharp and consistent with the time. Some tattoos are not really consistent, but I let them know, the customer, okay, this tattoo with the time can have this problem. It's going to look nice, but maybe you have to touch it up, and I don't know if I'm going to be here. If they are agree, we are agree. The contrast to me are two things: power and consistent for the time. The contrast is going to have a lot of black, and the black is going to be okay with the time, with the years, and the skin tone, that power is okay to get a nice photo, and a nice tattoo, of course. And with the time, as I said, it's going to still looking good. If you work properly, not super soft, if not you pack good the color, it's going to look good. And you choose good the color. You have to know that some kind of color can get burned with the time. You have to choose good.